What's going on, guys? Dan here, DD Speed Shop. We got the wagon in the shop. Now I know what you're thinking. She don't run. I didn't even try and run it in the driveway. I actually dragged it in with the old garage winch. Best money ever spent. Now, if anybody's really excited we're gonna get back in the wagon, I hate to tell it to you. It's gonna be a quick video here, and we're gonna be on to something else for a small amount of time. Now here's the problem. Well, here's what happened. As you know, last week I was working on this 56 Chevy. We got it all together. We changed the intake manifold, put the hood on it, just kind of cleaned it all up, put all the trim, put everything I had for the car on it, put it up for sale, and had a bunch of people look at it, and I ended up making a deal pretty darn quick in a matter of one day. So of course the car goes out to go for sale, drag the wagon in, I'll work in the wagon while it's for sale, right? Now the problem is the car's got to go in a couple days. The guy who bought it wanted it as cheap as possible, and he was going to really cut this car up and it's staying local and all those things, which is kind of nice. But to make it as cheap as possible, he didn't want the motor, he didn't want the transmission, he doesn't want the brakes, he didn't want the front suspension, control arms, didn't want the carpet, didn't want the shifter, didn't want nothing, doesn't want the rear end, all that stuff. So basically it's going to be a body, no wheels, no tires. So now I got the deal was I was going to strip it all out. So that'll only be a day or two, but oh, that'll be another video. So all that work I just did, you'll get to basically watch it in reverse. So I'll like pull the transmission on this thing like 3 times in a matter of 2 weeks, which is good and bad. Now here's why it could be a lot worse. I don't think I even put this on the channel when I was doing the wagon. This motor started making a racket, it didn't want to run, we had all sorts of issues. I don't know what the F was going on with it, but I was not happy about it. And honestly, it sat outside for a few weeks or a month now. I had it all covered up and stuff like that with the motor. But I was just so mad at it because I spent so much time and effort and money on this thing, and it was screwing me, and I was pissed. So now, we're going to see what the deal is. We're going to get this thing running, because having a car that doesn't run and drive is extremely frustrating. Everything in the driveway runs and drives except for the friggin' wagon, which is the current project. So, we're going to rip the scoop off. Last time I had to hot wire it for some reason. So I don't know, I gotta trace some wires. Maybe I missed something or did something wrong or I got a bad coil. I don't know what. We got the battery on the charger. We're gonna fire it up and see what the heckin' deal is here. And then, so here's where, I don't know what the word is for it. If this motor's junk, I'm not gonna be happy about it, but so be it. That's hot rodding. I don't want to run it making a pile of racket and stuff like that, so if that's a problem, we'll get it, we'll back it out, we'll do what we got to do. We have a fresh 400 small block, which we can put on this thing. I got a flat hood for it that my buddy Josh gave me. We can get her together, we can get it on the road, get it running and driving, and then we can deal with the motor, or if it's an LS swap. Hopefully this big block's still fine, but that is where my head is at now. I have a plan, because before, if the motor was junk, now I'm into it for a pile of money, which I don't really want to do. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna take this motor all apart, well, top end apart, check for spark, check for the coil, make sure we have fuel in it, just, air, fuel, spark. It's very simple how these motors work. I know the timing and all that should be good because nothing got changed. And then if we can make this thing run, we'll be good. I feel bad for this thing. We actually had a couple trees cut down. It just got peppered with the sawdust, but that's what you get for being a little bitchy, eh? Alright, well, I'll get this thing apart. I'm going to put the key to it and see what happens. Look at this conglomeration of stuff I have hooked up. So, basically I've got no sparky spark. Now, fault tracing, we have the test light hooked up. I have it right to the main coil wire. That's how I know I have no spark. I will show you that in a second. We have a jumper wire going to the positive side of the coil to a test light. That's just kind of to make things a little easier, just so we can see what's going on. I have my test light hooked up, like I said, to the coil. I have it taped on, so that should flashy when you have the spark. Now let me just show you. Oh, that piece of trim. So if I crank it just one click over, this is so hard to do one-handed. Gentle. So the test light lights up. That's on. Like on, and when I click on crank, the motor's going to click over. You'll see there's still light at the test light, but we have no flashy flash. So, distributor issue, or coil issue, something's not being triggered somehow. Now, the way the coil is triggered, obviously, is through the pickup in the distributor. We've checked our grounds. I made sure we have a ground which is decent. It works with a test light and all that. So, either the distributor is fried, the coil is bad, or something along those lines. I have another coil, which I may just toss on there for test purposes because it's easiest to get to. To take the distributor apart is a pain. Tunnel ram problems. I mean, not actually terrible, it's just tight in there. So, step one, I'm just going to put a coil on the valve cover. I actually just took one out of the 56 where it had the tunnel ram, so I got all that. I actually have a whole distributor. I have the whole kit and caboodle, which I know works. So worst case, I can rip all that out, put the other stuff in, and it will run. It has power, it's just not shooting spark. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, test B. We have the new coil rigged up. We have power to it, we know it's good. This coil I know works. I used the wire and everything that ran the other car yesterday. So it's a known good piece. I'm not confident, but you never know. See if we have a flash. Oh, we had something there. There's my eyes playing tricks on me. Okay, so I think we have a distributor issue. Either it's not picking it up, it's full of water, it's gibbled, whatever. So I'm gonna try and reach in there. It might just be a bad connection. Otherwise, I'm not big on this distributor. It's in there. It's a real, well, it's a big unit, and makes servicing a pain. Hoping I'll be able to get it out and all that stuff. For sure, like as you can see, there ain't much room. We've got the wiper motor kind of covering it. We've got some linkage and stuff. That can all come out. But worst case, if I can stab in the other one, I'll do that. This is the other one. So these are extremely simple. Literally, it's a 3-wire hookup, which goes on to that, which comes out to black is ground, red is your switch power, which, as you know, there's a switch power going to it from the fuse blocks, and then yellow is the trigger. Very simple. If I can hook it up, anybody can. So we'll pop top off the distributor and see what the deal is. Okay, well, as you can see, the motor, well, top of the motor is half-words disassembled. We got carburetors behind Danny. We got.
Did you just say half-words?
Half-words. So I've never liked on this thing the distributor. It had this. It's a Unilite. It's, I don't even know what it is. It looks like off a more modern kind of TBI setup or something like that style. I don't know what it's really used for, but so it's got a real big circumference.
Do you want me to put the clippings just by your garbage over there?
Yeah, man, go for it. Yeah, the old grass guy. So we managed to get this out. Now to get this out, I actually had to jack up, unbolt the transmission, jack it up, tilt the motor and all that ahead so I could slip this out. What a nightmare. Anyway, so I got that. Looking in there, I don't really see anything wrong with it. It looks like the rotor might be a little bit burnt up and stuff, but I don't know. I don't understand these distributors. I've never had this one at all. I wanted to take it apart. So the problem is, we actually probably go to on that side. The body of it, I can't, it hits the intake manifold. Well, obviously this had to go in with the intake manifold. So I took it all apart. I have another gasket set in stock. I'm gonna see if I can just kind of tilt it, get that out, and then the small body distributor right by your, no, I missed it, right there. Might be able to fit in. Now, kind of, this is real buckshy backyard stuff, because once you take the intake manifold off, you really probably should put new gaskets and reseal it and all that. Then get it out great, put it back together, and I'll deal with the oil leak later. If I can just kind of tilt this ahead, maybe? Oh no. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Alright, just slide the intake manifold ahead. Alright, so we're putting a new gasket on it. That is That's stupid. Huh. This gear's eating away too. Junk. I hate when stuff is like that where you lose serviceability. At least, I mean, tunnel rams are dumb. I like, let's be honest, they're ridiculous. But I could probably just silicone front and back. Squirrel. Really all over the place today. I hate that. So I mean, if the distributor ever died, or you want, like, I had to take all the plug wires off, take the wiper, all that stuff off, just to get in there to kind of service it. And I put this motor as far ahead as I possibly could. I mean, look where the electric pan is offset to the radiator, which is in front. I mean, there's only so many square feet you have. Square inches? Square meters. We're in Canada. But anyways, we'll put the other distributor in with the coil, which I know all works, and it will fix the run problem at least. It'll fix the start problem, spark problem.
I think you need to float in a pool.
I'm ready. It's hot today, 30 some odd degrees, but oh god, oh, lift with your back. So we got that out. That's not bad. We can inspect the camshaft, make sure it's not wiped out. See how she goes. Yeah, that looks bad. That's pretty clean there. So I'll just take these gingerly off. Usually, I hate these gaskets. I just do silicone. So take that off. We'll schmoo it back up. Oh, these gaskets were completely silicone. Oh my goodness. See all this silicone? You don't want to silicone these gaskets on. Oh, and I guess the intake's, oh yeah, the intake's blocked. But anyways, I'll get this silicone. We'll put the intake back on and put a couple bolts in to hold it. Daniel's cooking tacos, chicken tacos or something. So I'm gonna eat one of those, or 7. I'll be back. This wagon is fighting me. I don't know, like, we had the oil pan all off last time I was in the garage. What were we doing there? Oh, some oil leak, which I don't even know if it fixed right, because we can't even be able to make it run. Now we had the top end of the motor, I mean the intake manifold off. We're a set of cylinder heads away from a gasket kit. I put the aluminum water pump and all that on. Like, what a nightmare this thing has been. So if it fires up and it's bad, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna spend any more time on this motor. It's cursed. That small block that'll be pulling out will be just sliding it right in here. I'm mad. I did all this work to make it fit and it just ain't happy. And then we'll either build this motor for something else, or we'll find a use for it. Yard art, toss in the creek. But supper time. See you guys in a bit when the intake manifold is back on. Oh, we got to 110. The expensive gasoline. I don't remember where I stopped filming, but we got everything together. The carburetor intake's on, bolted down, carburetors are on. That might be still full. I managed to get the distributor in. If you want to maybe walk to the other side there. So it's snug in there, but this one actually does fit, which is nice. So it can be serviced at some point. Man, if this backfires, it's going to be a small fire.
Where's the fire extinguisher?
There's one at the 55 and maybe one at the satellite.
So not here.
So we got the garden hose.
No, we don't. It's filling up the pool.
Oh, there's one right there. We're good. Okay, so we got it all back together. I don't have the front dress on. There's no belt. There's no coolant in it. I just got everything snugged. So the tomorrow I'll tighten down the intake manifold. We're running the coil and the distributor, the old stuff that was on the 56. So we known good. I tried to mark the timing, but it was kind of the way that the two distributors were, nothing really lined up. So Danny helped me roll it over top dead center. I set it like 8 degrees-ish, 8 or 10. So yeah, we don't have a whole lot going on there. Like I said, no coolant, no nothing like that, but I do want to fire it up. Let's see. Just got oil in it.
Where's the safe space for me to stand?
I'm standing right here. You're probably fine. You don't mind loud noises, right? Maybe a few little fall. I'm really hoping this.
Well, I don't get any muffs.
It's not gonna be that loud. It's through the mufflers. You got young ears.
That's right.
All right. Fingers crossed. but it might just be exhaust leak. Yeah, I think it's just an exhaust leak. It doesn't sound great. I don't know. Hang on, see if there's oil pressure. All these damn cars. Should check this first. I don't know. Had 60 pounds oil pressure is the idle there. It seems to run okay. Considering to stab the distributor and the motor on. When I kind of looked in through the valley, the cam didn't look super badly scarred up. You can't tell a whole lot there. All the push rods and all that still have tension on it, so it looks like it's wiped out a cam. Hopefully, like to the point where it's nothingness. Doesn't sound like an up top clatter. Has oil pressure, so I don't know. I guess we'll just run it and see. I mean, the motor, so the problem is this motor was in the jet boat, so it had the upside down headers with the exhaust at the back with no mufflers on it, so that quiet amount of noise you would never hear under wide open headers. So the motor might just be a little bit noisy. The 55 original motor, which is actually in square body's noisy. It's got a noisy valve train for some reason, but we just drive it anyway. So we'll let that sit. I don't want to get too much heat in it. Obviously, it has no water in it, so just let it run it for 30 seconds. Tomorrow we'll come back out, we'll double check everything tight, we'll fill it up with water. At least now it runs and drives enough, we can get this thing out and the 56 in. Because that's next. We gotta pull that sucker apart to get paid.
After we put it back together.
Yeah, that's funny how that works, eh? It was a part. I tried to sell it last year, like right before, in the fall. Just as a kind of a part, no one wanted it, and then now I put it all back together, made it run, made it nice, and it's not happy. But the worst case, we can carry on with this thing. If we do have motor problems or whatever, we have a spare, which is always nice, so we can jam that in there. I mean, small block's kind of lame. I'm a big block guy, but you can get it rolling around.
I like big blocks and I cannot lie.
Yeah. So I mean, anyways, it's all set up for the same thing, or we put LS in this really at the end of the day. So I might. If this motor is finished, I think I might go that direction. But I've heard those, the Terminator kits and all that are on backorder like crazy. But whatever, we'll figure something out. Alright, well, that's where I'm leaving for tonight. I'm walking away, tools everywhere. It's hot, I'm tired. I want a Jersey milk. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon after work. It's tomorrow. All I do is clean the tools off, and I gave off the car, and gave all the intake manifold bolts a quick once over, and I put this real fancy return spring on the fuel line to the carburetor, so we're all safe. What else we got going on? I'm not gonna put the scoop or any of that stuff on for right now. I'll put the carburetors on, or the air filters on when it's outside. But I think it's time to fire it up. We'll let it run a little bit. We got to move a pile of cars, just every car. A little bit of Tetris, because 56 has to come in. That'll be the next video. We're obviously pulling that thing apart, but I have to back it in. So Challenger on the street, junk truck on the street, move this around, and then we'll put this back in the driveway and go from there. We got a charger on it. This thing actually has a charging system and everything, but the 56 doesn't, and we're gonna need to steal this junk battery because that car doesn't have a junk battery. I think I've gone all the wires out of the way of the exhaust and whatnot. Now again, so I didn't put the wiper motor stuff back on. All the air cleaner stuff is not on. The scoop's not on. The coil's just sitting there. You know, we're just filling with water and even coolant. I'm not sure if this thing is staying together or coming apart, but it's enough that it runs. And this girl is a big one to start pushing up and down the hill. It's hot out, and I don't really feel like doing that. So, we get this thing fired up. I'm going to get it outside. We'll get the 56 inside, and I want to end the video with that cool Cowley hood, or the Pro Stock hood, on this car. So, Hopefully it'll fit. I might have to take the pins out or move them around just a little bit, but just set it on there. I mean, let's be honest, it's all about the thumbnail and my my tiny brain, but that'll make me happy. Junk motor, cool hood, win. I'm wearing my lucky Big Block Hood Scoop t-shirt, channeling the Big Block gods. Wish me luck. All right, well, I'll get stuff moved around. We'll see you outside. Well, would you look at this hot rod? So you got her idle up a little bit because she wasn't too happy. Got the hood on it, man. It's not too windy, but that hood makes all the difference. Oh, this bumper is beat. So, I don't know. Definitely has an exhaust leak. I'm actually wondering if maybe the header is rubbing against something. It's got lots of oil pressure. It's hitting on all 8. Sounds pretty good. I can't really complain. So, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the motor being noisy, but hang on here. Ooh, that sounds good. I guess it could be worse. It is what it is. I don't know, so if you guys have ever watched like Drag Week and stuff like that, I think Tom Bailey has it now, but there's a 57 Chevy called the Shitbox of Doom, and it's a 4-door 57. I don't know if it's a Bel Air or whatever it is, but it's crazy. Full roll cage, the whole deal, a turbo, blah, I don't know, alcohol motor at one point, but this is basically the same thing, right? Equally as junky. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it. I know he's kind of a little taste in the wagon. Hopefully that's enough to kind of tide you guys over if that's what you're really here for. I will be getting right back to it, I promise. I do have the steering column for it. We got to make sure the transmission and the motor and all that's good. We have a pile of little things. Finish off the wiring, make the wipers work, get little bits of trim on it, make this hood fit. A few kind of things like that. Honestly, I kind of forget where I'm at with it, but it should be on the road sooner rather than later, I'm hoping. And if the motor is junk, well, that is a slight hiccup, but we have another motor just in case we can get it all together. Actually, I'll give you a little sneak peek. The 56 is all apart there. I'm actually right in the middle of filming another video. Mur came over to help me take that apart. So Mur will be in the next video for a short amount of time. There you go, we're allowed to hang out again, so that's always cool. Yeah, wagon, together, somewhat, happy with it. I love this car. I like just looking at it, you know. But that's really it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, all those good things, and make sure you leave a comment. I try and get to every single one, and I'll see you in the next video. Love it.